Good morning. I already went for a walk, so my hair's clean. I washed it. It was cold. Yesterday was like so nice. It probably got up to 64, but it was nice. This morning it was cold. It's getting nice, but I walked already like an hour and 45 minutes. Well, I walked 2 hours because I walked to work. Anyway. And then, one thing I hate about here is that, oh God, I was on the bus and the sun was in the little kid's eye, and I was telling him, oh no, the sun's in the eye. And this guy goes, oh, the sun's good for you, the sun's good for you. I'm staring in the sun. I'm like, you'll get cataracts, or you'll go blind staring at the sun. Oh no, you need vitamin D. So anyway, and they will kill you to keep beating on their kids. Even though it seems to me that there's been a great decline in the education system by taking the music and art out here. There's been a decline in it's just a very nasty, dirty town too. Every nick and every corner is trash. I think New York, Times Square is cleaner than this. Because at least, people, will put stuff in, I don't believe in putting stuff in the trash can. They do what I call dirty clean. Like make their bed, but, grow mold. I mean, they do some nasty shit, but everybody hits here. Like, I was one person like, well, everybody hits her. Well, that's called discipline. What are you supposed to do? I'm like, that's not discipline when you cause somebody pain and anguish. That's called torture. And to be honest with you, the 50-year-old crackhead alcoholics, pedophile, perverts around here that had got whooped, like burned. I think, like, I was in, last month, I was in a car with Harold and we were going to the grocery store. He went up her street, and she was at the door, and she looked like she was at dire stress. But I noticed that when I mentioned it to Harold, he just seemed oblivious. Either they like go a blind eye, and I mean a blind eye. I mean, they'll say something, and like they'll arrest them like after they kill. Like they have a lot of child deaths here, a lot of premature deaths. So, but they also got the girls convinced that the worst thing that ever happened to you is to get pregnant. And that carries on up until way past adulthood and 4 or 5 kids. I'm saying it's humiliating. It's a shame. You're a whore. Especially if you ain't over 20, and some. Oh my God! And there was this girl on the bus who was going to high school. They have no muscle tones. Even the skinny ones, they have no muscle tones. So basically, they might be right. I see why they think they need to get rid of 1 million, because I think that the damage that was done. Oh, it's just make me throw up. I gotta get to eat. Anyway, I haven't slept. It's hard to live around here. I need a vacation from this. I just need to be around people that everybody thinks the same way, and everybody does the same thing, and they hate you if you don't do what like this them. If you don't believe in hitting your kids, they're like, everybody hits them kids. I'm like, well, I think that's a punk ass shit to hit somebody 3 feet. They hit a little baby. And I'm like, well, what's your point in hitting a 2-year-old? That's called discipline. Besides discipline, use another word to explain yourself. They can't. And then they get this look on their face like, you ever notice like a child with Down syndrome when they know something, I had a cousin, Renee. Oh, she was wonderful. Just rest in peace. But she had Down syndrome. She was smarter than these kids that don't have Down syndrome. She could write, she could add, she could spell. We played Unos for hours, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember if she played spades. I don't know, but I mean, you could interact with her, you know what I'm saying? And she had a great memory, so you know, like if you ain't trying to like act like you might be smarter than somebody that got an IQ of 50, you get along with her just fine. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people who are like all at once, like they think they're, oh, they went to college. But she had a good memory for certain stuff. She had excellent memory. But I think they found that she had a tumor that had been growing, and that was the cause of her like Down syndromes. And I think she finally had an aneurysm. And she was pretty old. Not that old. I don't remember. I think her 30s. I mean, pretty old for what they had expected. But anyway, I believe they found that she had a tumor. I guess it ended up. You know, I really don't understand that because we had all that went on there, but there was pressure on the brain with this growth, and actually she had got sicker as she got older, you know. Oh, well, that was a damn shame. Anyway, I'm too tired. I shouldn't be thinking about that. Give me nightmares. But I don't see. I mean, high school. You don't know not to stare in the sun. 15, 16, you know, muscle development. Can you imagine if Michael Jordan didn't have muscle development at 15 or 16? Then it'd never been like, hey, this guy could play. They'd be like, hey, what a boy. But no obesity, no muscle. I mean, God, she was like the blob. And she wasn't like outrageous. She was probably about 5'9", probably about, I'll say about, I'll be nice, size 10. I want to say 12. There's the dunk back there, and the extra roll underneath the breast, which I'd wear a girdle because I don't want my fat to be bigger than my breast. Or push it all up. Push all the fat and everything else up in it, bro. Lift all the fat up. Anyway, I thought I'm coming around for a minute because they called me last night. Wanted something. I'm like, but he lazy. As soon as he found out I had just walked this far, and then I took the bus back though. I stopped at the far, but I'm tired. There's so much trash all along the way, and they hate the bike path. As Rob was telling me the other day, somebody drove him downtown and he was going on about the bike path. Bike path is in the way, bike path in the way. The bike path doesn't even look like it's wider than a parking space, but it's a real issue for the people here because that just throws them all off on driving. And you know, they will hit you. I had some guy yelling at me this morning. He's like, did you say something about my mom? I was like, man, just keep driving. Get the fuck away from me. Did you say something about my mom? I'm like, keep it moving. Shit. Don't know him, his mom, from Ave. But they so hostile. And and it's only because I believe that, you know, that's all. They don't stand a chance. That's all they learn. You know what I'm saying? If all you learn, your parents, the way they think they're teaching you is by. I see them hitting them. For example, there's one guy, Heavy. He ended up adopting these two kids that mom went to prison, and anyway, he had been dating or so. And he believed in whooping, and she had like, I think about 15 kids. He took those two, and then there was a third one, a boy that his brother had adopted, and his brother's wife. His brother had a cardiac arrest and died not soon after he adopted, and the wife was left with that. And then she, when the boy, he was like 9, she had a cardiac arrest, at night, and she just happened to be over at Heavy's house because Heavy has cancer, and he wanted his brother and sister to get to know each other, so they were all going to go with her. So the boy just happened to be over there on the weekend, and I think was it a 3-day weekend? But he said she was supposed to come Sunday and at least pick him up to and she was going to take him to church, and then from church, he was going to be going home, but the girls were going to go over there for a little while before Heavy went and got him. They weren't going to stay the night there or anything. But anyway, he was surprised because she always calls. He didn't get a phone call. I guess was it Saturday night? I think they were expecting a call from her. Okay, Sunday night. Yeah, heard from her Saturday. She called every night. No, I guess she was supposed to call Saturday night because Sunday was going to church. So, but they didn't hear anything for her. So he went ahead and took him to church like he was planned, and then he didn't hear nothing from her Sunday. And then he said she always called me, and then he got scared. He told me he was scared to death, but he had the key to her house, and he had to go in her house and check on her. So he didn't go to Tuesday morning, which, if I was as scared as he was, because I'd be thinking about, oh man, I'm gonna be worse if I smell something. But but I think he already knew that, because he said there's no way she's not gonna call this boy and talk to him she just never has, there's just no way that, there's no way. But so anyway, he ended up with the 3 kids, and I witnessed him whooping that boy, and it was the most horrifying, barbaric, inhumane shit I ever seen in my life. The boy went to go out the door, and I was on the door. He said, shut the door, shut the door. I'm like, go. But he didn't, I was like, shit, I'd have left. I'd have went and sat right outside and let me stay between him and them, but not my child. But everybody says mind your business, mind your business. Well, the little boy already had a good foundation, in a sense. And the 2 girls, well, they turned out like all the women. Like, I know it's like, I see the attitude, I see where it came from. So defeated. So tragic. Because because I was in the car one day and he was telling the girl, well, his whole sex talk, like, I believe you could have a sex talk with a child without getting graphic. That's why they use the birds and the bees or something. Pollination or something. You could sort of click it and well, I guess I don't even have imagination where you could sort of click it and open up, because they know parts, they know body parts, So, but anyway, he ended up telling her, you get pregnant, I'm gonna kick you out. Yeah, the only mammal that could die at childbirth, the only one that needs the most support. And in some cases, because like now I know some of them, they're like in their 45s and they never had a baby, they had a career, they're making, $320,000 a year or whatever. I don't even think they, I don't think they even want to have a child now, but, because I know my Aunt Lurleen didn't have her, supposedly had her, I know some women that didn't have their children until like, and like at 45 and in their 40s. But the window's real short, and then like you better not get too old of a guy because they'll have old sperm. I don't know. Those eggs, don't they come the day you get it? I don't know, but like I have heard about like you have to be careful with old stuff. But the doctors know. Some new stuff. But anyway, and so then like, anyway, he had no control over them. No control over them. they got too big where, and he got too, well, he probably broke his hip, and they got too big. They got, you know what I'm saying? They got to where they could beat the hell out of him opposed to listen to him. So I'm like, fuck that shit. You know, he cried about how crazy his father was, hitting him and all this stuff. And he turned around and did the same shit. You deserve what you got. And that's the second family. Because he already had another, you know, a wife and another, you know, had children. You know, I mean, he tried. He did a very honorable thing. You know, I guess the kids were going to go in the system. What happened was she tried to break in his house with the newborn baby, right? And she kicked in like the door and crawled in with the baby first. And you know, he was standing there with a gun. And the only reason why he didn't shoot is because she was carrying the baby. And she just snatched up something and ran out, and he called the police. And he happened to, his brother or somebody lives around there, and he called them, and they happened to see where she went. She had went in this crack house. So the police went up in the crack house and got him. Both damn kids was up there. So they needed to get out of that situation at least. And everybody whooped, so at least they, you know, like in school, you know, that's, you know, pretty normal. So their behavior, I think, is very violent and hostile. They seem very like the saddest two kids. Like, I used to think children don't get depressed, but that's a lie. You know. But anyway, I sure hate it because when he shows up with one of these damn dominoes, like, it's on the porch, but I don't put it in something. I used to have it right on top. But he ain't gonna wake me up. But I'm gonna go take me a short little nap. I don't know if he misunderstood me when I said I'm not going anywhere for 3 hours. Because he's a lazy man. Because he's lazy. Because he was like, damn. You know, he wants somebody to meet him halfway. You know what I'm saying? You know what? He just ain't getting it. You know, I'm tired of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You want something, you know, because it's been seasonally warm. People want to sit out and play dominoes. But you want something? And you know, you're just pissed off because you know, I can't walk like, you know, I walked all day yesterday just because it was so nice and sort of went around different folks. But anyway, Friday. Lahaima. I don't know why I think the Lahaima when I'm not thinking to say that. Never mind. Dumb Americans. I'm taking a nap. I want to fall asleep. You won't be able to wake me up. Fuck. Have a lovely day. I hope it's sunshine and warm where you are like it is here. Unless it needs to not be. No, it always needs to be sunshine. Have a good day.